Hello, thank you for joining today. We are excited to present Month to Minutes using AI to transform the product innovation process. I'm Noelle Emmons, Team Leader, Strategic Accounts and Partnerships here at Remesh. And I'm joined today by Alan Moskowitz, Vice President at CSpace, and Celeste Balboni, Product Innovation Specialist at CSpace. We are excited to share more about how CSpace compressed an innovation cycle utilizing emerging technologies and responding flexibly to change. And I'll share a little bit more about Remesh to kick us off here. We are a conversation platform that allows you to have a live, moderated conversation with hundreds or even up to 1,000 people at a time. We utilize AI and machine learning to really help organize and analyze that real-time conversation data, which really facilitates understanding at the speed of conversation, allowing our clients and customers to really pivot quickly to insight and start to interpret what the group is saying in real time. And I'll pass to Celeste here to share a bit more about CSpace.
Great. Thanks, Noelle. At CSpace, we call ourselves a customer agency and believe in providing customer-inspired growth. While the scope of our work can vary from more traditional consumer research practices to large-scale innovation work, our clients' customers are always at the center of what we do. We believe customers should play an active role in key business decisions. In order to grow, companies must build their customers into the way they work. At CSpace, I specialize in bringing in new research technologies to the business to innovate on the ways that we work. Since gathering data from our customers is at the center of what we do, we rely heavily on Remesh over the past few years to help our clients get closer to their customers. Since 2018, we've conducted over 100 Remesh conversations with over 7,600 of our clients' customers. Over the years, we've experimented with a lot of ways to use Remesh, but tend to use the platform in the following ways. The first being discovery work, where we're looking to learn more broadly about how our customers behave. The second being ideation work, when generating different ways to solve problems or brainstorm new product ideas. And lastly, when gathering feedback on concepts and message testing. Our clients come from various industries, including healthcare, financial services, and CPG, and we've found applications for Remesh across all of our clients' portfolios. Through Remesh, we've helped our clients stay close to their customers in many ways, including helping a beverage company learn how their customers' consumption trends have shifted throughout the pandemic, an internet cable provider helping optimize a new advertising campaign, and an insurance company gathered synchronous employee feedback at scale, all using Remesh. Now I'd like to turn it over to Alan, a VP here at CSpace, to do a deeper dive on a recent and exciting product innovation case study using the Remesh platform.
Great, thank you, Celeste. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I'm Alan Moskowitz. I'm a vice president at CSpace, and I specialize in food and beverage. So a lot of the work that I do is innovation. Today we're going to talk about a case study of innovating in the chicken nugget space. So in the next few minutes, I'll walk through what the client challenge was, the solution that we created, and then the results of that. And also, as we think about this project, how as a result, we've created a repeatable solution that actually increases our ability to do innovative food product work. And of course, this actually applies beyond food, but that's where I specialize. So the challenge, a client came to us with a challenge to help understand the chicken nugget space, really the kids' sort of snacking space, that small meal space. And they wanted to help identify new and differentiating consumer-led product ideas. And they had some ideas of their own that they'd thought up in-house, but they were really interested in being consumer-centric and finding a way to do some discovery in the space right now and have consumers potentially ideate on what would be best for their children because they know their children's tastes well. And I think this is an important aspect of the project because we weren't looking to just test existing concepts. We were looking also to allow consumers the space to offer their ideas. So the product, better for you chicken nuggets, everything in food and beverage moving towards better for you, more plant-based, et cetera. We had done some prior product development work with this client on better for you items like weeknight convenience meal helpers in several different formats. So maybe that was sheet pan meals or one pan skillet meals. And along the way, we had been developing this, this new process using Remesh. And the challenge here was to really just kind of make innovation faster. So how do we make the research process faster? How do we make it more customer-led and more iterative all at one time, instead of what traditionally would have been doing some qualitative work and some discovery on the space? So understanding, what's working right now in people's lives, what are they doing? And then going back and looking at the results of those and maybe coming up with some product ideas, and then coming back and retesting, kind of traditional way of doing product innovation. We wanted to try and really compress all of that and see if there was a way to do it more quickly at one time. So challenges included understanding the current space, what's working for parents and kids right now, what isn't working. And then based on that, if we were to give them the opportunity to devise the ideal solution for their kids, what would that be? And when we think about parents and food for their kids, most parents would like to have their kids be eating healthier. So they want them, number one, to have something that they like, because if a kid won't eat it, obviously, what's the value in having it? They need to eat it and like it, first of all, and want it. But second of all, if it can be more nutritious, or it can, benefit them in some substantial way towards their health, that's great too. So we wanted to do that, understand the current space, understand what works, ideate, but also then get feedback on some new product concepts that the client had. And at the same time, understand what are the must-have attributes and exciting attributes from a long list of possibilities. And some of those attributes were sort of flavor driven, but many of them were health related. So whether that was omega-3s or more vegetables per serving, et cetera, we really wanted to use this research to be able to understand and rank those attributes. And also, challenge was to allow cross-functional stakeholders, so people from R&D, people from marketing, to all be watching this research happen and observing it and probing, asking their specific questions in real time. And then make it more complicated, the ability to provide instant results to inform decisions as quickly as possible. So speed is underlying a lot of the research and development that we do these days. Not surprising. Everybody wants to get to market quicker, and things are changing so quickly. We want to capitalize on trends when they're happening. So those were the challenges. So the solution was that we turned to Remesh, which, as far as I'm concerned, with all of the different methodologies that Celeste brings me, Remesh is perhaps the most exciting qual-quant hybrid that I have seen in all the years that I've been doing research. For those of you not familiar with it, Remesh combines the best of potentially multiple focus groups along with the capabilities of, say, a survey tool. And then it's really kind of that plus a bonus on top of that. So you take the two of them, you've got the live aspect of focus groups and the ability to probe on them, and then you've got the ability to get responses in, say, a survey where you're getting closed-ended responses and quantifying those responses. And the bonus is that in real time, you're actually getting people to provide their own answers and have the group vote up on them. And unlike a focus group where you only might have, say, 6 or 7 people, we've had as many as 150, and the platform can have up to 1,000. So our solution, what we did here was pre-screen people, in our case, 150 to 175 consumers, pre-screened to be the right audience target for this. So in our case, we wanted parents with children at home. We wanted households with some younger children and also households with some older children, so that we could do data cuts and look at the differences between, say, younger children and their preferences, or their parents' preferences for younger children, and also preferences from teens, tweens, because they are different enough and there are nuanced differences that it potentially might lead to different product ideas. So we pre-screen people in advance and ask if they will participate in a live 75-minute session. And then the Remesh experience. So this is a really fascinating part. And I think for anybody who hasn't participated in a session like this, it's worth sharing what it feels like. So on the day of, let's just say it's 1 o'clock on a Thursday that we have invited people, we will log into the platform along with clients. We'll have a conference call with clients. So we're talking to them in real time as if we're behind the glass in a focus group session. And we are all logged into the Remesh platform, and we're watching people log in real time, and we can see the clicker go up. We have 10 people, 50 people, 25 people. And as they log in, as participants log in, they're being given a handful of demographic questions right off the bat that are private. And the reason we do this is we have the ability in the platform to then use those to create data cuts in real time. So it might be geographic cut, it might be an age cut, whatever that is. And we're asking people those questions right up front. It might be actually, in our case with chicken nuggets, it was what competitive brands are they currently buying right now? So we could look at people who are buying the leading brand in the marketplace, or we could look at people who are buying perhaps more all natural brands and be able to do data cuts and see any differences. So they're coming in, we're watching the numbers increase in real time. You can feel the excitement as you get to 50, 75, 100, 150 people. And then we give people, the moderator actually, like in a focus group, is actually speaking to the group and saying hello. Most of this is pre-written in the discussion guide. Moderator's actually speaking to the group in real time, welcoming people in, so they get the experience as participants that they're in something that is happening in real time. We explain to them how this will work, which is that they'll see different question types, and that each question will be timed. So they know they're on the clock. And I wouldn't say we're necessarily getting system one response, but we are getting a more in the moment, immediate response. So 3 question types. We have the ability to ask a poll question where we give preset answers. We have the ability to ask 2 different kinds of open-ended questions. One, an open-ended question where we simply gather the answers. And then the second one, which is the most unique and special aspect of Remesh. And this is really where Remesh sets itself apart. We ask an open-ended question, and as the participants begin to respond, the platform shares those responses, pairs those up in sort of a discrete choice way. And everyone that is participating is now voting on those pairs and voting in pair after pair after pair in the space of a minute and a half to 2 minutes. And immediately, and we're actually seeing results in real time. And immediately after that minute and a half is over, we have the ability to look at a dashboard instantly, even with data cuts, and the platform is showing us a total of the number of people who have reacted to a particular statement. So if, for instance, we asked, what's the most important thing that you would like to see in chicken nuggets? And it's more nutritious or more vegetables. That particular answer from one of the participants might have been voted up time and time again. At the same time, the AI in the platform is actually figuring out or projecting what the agreement of the entire participant group would be. So you're getting a projection about which answer would best rise to the top. Very powerful aspect of this. And also, because this Remesh experience is live, as answers are happening, we're listening to clients react in real time. Sometimes diving right into the dashboard after a question closes and saying, hey, that's really interesting. I'd like to ask more about X. So-and-so said that this is really important to them. Spicy flavors or avoiding spicy flavors are really important to them. Can we probe on that? We have the ability in the discussion guide to add new questions as we're going, or follow up with them later in the discussion. So that's the Remesh experience. Really exciting. It's live, and it is interactive. So the solution that we provided for this client was, the structure of this was to validate the consumer problem at the start of the session. So we explored in real time something that we would typically do in qualitative research, which would be understand current state. And then we elicited solutions from consumers in real time. How are you solving for this need today? And based on that, based on this groupthink of how they're solving it, and everybody is seeing what other people are saying about how they're solving it, we crowdsourced an ideal product solution right there in real time. So, okay, 150 people have said how they're solving it today. They've seen what other people are doing. Now they get to pick and choose from all of those different ideas. Crowdsource an ideal product. People are voting on it in real time, or voting on the attributes that they like. We pause there for a moment, and in the background, what we have is our team is looking at those attributes and putting together a new product concept that we will bring into the platform later. In the meantime, we're testing concepts that the client has already created. So we've got, in this case, 6 new concepts, 4 of them focused on the older children and 2 of them focused on the younger, or something like that. And what we've done is to use the platform for an NCAA tournament style. So concept A versus concept B, concept A versus concept C, concept A versus concept D, and so forth. And since we don't have a real tournament style in the background, we've got a spreadsheet where we're tallying votes and looking at which among the 6 concepts rises to the top. Taking the top 2, diving in with more depth within the platform, getting people to react to why those top 2 are their favorites, and then now taking the new crowdsourced concept that we had pulled from this early stage and putting it against the top ranked concept to see which one comes out on top. And then going even further in this 75-minute session, I don't know that I mentioned we did 75, but in the 75-minute session, now going through long lists of attributes and having consumers in real time give us the attributes that are most important to them. So they're reacting to the concepts, and then they're also evaluating the attributes. So we've got both to think about as we walk out of the session. And then one other thing that we've learned over time is to have a pre-programmed parking lot. So an area of additional questions that are likely to come up on relevant topics. And this might be, we're just getting bonus out of the platform. So let's say we've decided that this concept is the best one. How would you like it? We're going to use this time and now ask, how would you like this package? Where would you like this to be in the store? Should it be frozen? Should it be refrigerated? Would you like it in a bulk pack? Should it be an individual serve? And we're just getting some bonus that is even beyond the stage gate that we're at right now from the platform. Or creating space for the marketing team who wants to have a question, or the R&D team that wants to ask a question and maybe it's a little off topic. So in summary, the platform enabled us to have an incredible space for both qualitative and quantitative product function testing and claims evaluation, the ability for participants to vote in real time and to offer their own ideas and solutions and vote up on the wisdom of the crowd, and a way to refine concept evaluation by comparing clients' concepts with participant concepts. The results. So this is the exciting part. We got instant product feedback for the client. They were able to dive into the dashboards. Even after the session was over, they've got the dashboards and they can still go back and look. We had scalable brainstorming. So in our case, we had 150 participants that took part in the session. We had the AI behind the scenes that was enabling us to look at their answers and actually aggregate and be able to project what would be the largest agreement. And we've reduced the research time literally from months to hours. So although the prep for a session like this takes some time, the truth is we executed in 75 minutes. And the clients were able to regroup with us the next day, review the results, and be able to make decisions coming out of that. So most important thing, can we do it again? So we can. This was developed over time with the client. We plan to do it over and over again. We've created a new template for them for innovation so they can innovate faster. We, in one case, surfaced a product concept that was not initially being considered that went into further testing and got about as high a rating for going to market as it possibly could. And I want to repeat that. So in that crowdsourcing new concept idea, one of the concepts that was created went up against the client's own concepts and did better. It actually, exceeded those, and then in further quantitative testing, got a go-to-market rating that was incredibly positive. So client highlights, the participant invented concept performed better than all the other concepts, and that concept moved forward. So thank you very much for listening to that case study description. If anyone has questions, we look forward to answering them. But it has been an exciting study, and look for new chicken nuggets in the market sometime soon. Thanks, everybody.